edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher. I'm the President and CEO of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And as we do each week, we present to you the activities going on during the week here in the Upper Valley, and have a special guest to speak on a topic of interest that's going on right now in the Upper Valley. To start off with, a lot of you know we have the Home Life Show coming up. Excuse me. Can you cut that?
You want to start all over again?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Should have done that before. Okay. Welcome to another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher. I'm the President and CEO of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And as we do each week, we present to you the activities going on in the Upper Valley and have a special guest that will have a topic of interest to all of you, I'm sure. So this week, beginning, as many of you know, we have the 34th Annual Home Life Show, which will be at Leverone Fieldhouse, March 16th, 17th, and 18th. This is the 34th year of our show, and we are selling vendor booths left and right. We have a few left, so if anyone is interested in renting a booth at the show, they can call us at the Chamber office at 448-1203, or go to our website, www.lebanonchamber.com, click on News, and there you will find the floor plan of the show, along with the application. Last year we put through a little over 9,000 people at the show in the 2.5 days. So it's a very popular event, very inexpensive for vendors particularly, to show their wares. And I always say to those who come to the show, if you saw last year's show, you haven't seen this year's show. We have we have a lot of new vendors that have come in. Some vendors don't come in every year, every other year. And those who do come in every year have new wares and technologies and things like that that they want to share with you. So it's a very popular event, and I encourage you to either be a vendor or come to the show. We're doing a senior special, as we've done in the last 3 years, from 2 to 5 p.m. The entry fee is only $3, and normally it's $5. But anyone can come at that particular time. And so we will be open from 2 to 9 on Friday, the 16th, 10 to 9 on Saturday, and 10 to 4 on Sunday. Don't worry about parking. Parking will be in Dewey Field, which is near the med school. It's at the corner of Route 120 North and Route 10. And we have buses, 2 buses that will be going back and forth. So they'll pick you right up at your car, bring you to the show, and bring you back. So there's no parking hassles, and no, the field, we've never filled the field because of the turnover. So we encourage you to do that. The buses will begin a half hour before showtime and end a half hour after showtime. And there's plenty of things to see, as I mentioned, plenty of goodies, not only vendors, but food to eat, entertainment. We have more of the vendors this year that are going to be doing demonstrations of their particular industry, which we have not had before, so that'll be of interest. We have a fun area, if you will, for the kids to keep them occupied, and it's going to be supervised the whole time so that you can go around the show and leave the kids well attended, and they can enjoy themselves in the kid area. That again is March 16th, 17th, and 18th. We also have coming up March 6th, which is Candidates Night here in Lebanon. It is a Tuesday night. It is the Tuesday before the city elections, which is the 13th. And we will be having a debate between the candidates who are running for city council and those who are running for school board. There is no contested seat for city council, but the councilors are invited to come, and if they want to make statements, they will be making statements. But we will have a regular debate for the 4 candidates running for 3 seats on the school board. So it's a chance for you to come and ask questions and see where the candidates stand on particular topics. The courtesy of CATV will also be taped, and you'll be able to see it on the air also, so you'll have a chance to see that. And cable will be at the home show, I should have mentioned that, and get a chance to see yourself on TV. They'll be doing some taping there also. Coming up right after that, it sounds like a long ways away, but the planning begins early on May 15th. The Chamber is holding their annual golf tournament at Lake Maury Resort, and all the proceeds from that go to our adult learners scholarships. And those are people who are attending colleges such as Lebanon College, Franklin Pierce, CCB, Community College of Vermont, River Valley Community College, and Granite State College, and the New England School of Hair Design. And since 1992, we have given out over $70,000 in scholarships to adult learners. They are, by taking extra courses and classes at these schools, a better trained employee, and the employer is getting a better trained employer. It is the Wexler Memorial Golf Classic, named after my predecessor, who served on as Chamber Director for 22 years, and he was a great fellow. Also this week, we have the Music Man is in Lebanon. The North Country Community Theater is putting on the Music Man at the Lebanon Opera House, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 2 shows on Saturday, and I'm sure that they're going to fill the seats, so I would suggest you call early for that. For tickets, at 448-0400. And there's a bridal show. I guess if you're getting ready to get married in the spring, summer, the Upper Valley Bridal Expo, it's in Enfield, at the Enfield Shaker Museum. That is Sunday, this coming Sunday, from 11 to 2 p.m. And it's right there at the Shaker Museum, right there on Route 4A. We have also the First Thursday Book Buffet in West Lebanon, and that is on Thursdays, as it says, noon to 1. People bring their lunch and discuss novels and non-fictions that explore the history of the 40s. This is what they're going to do this particular time. So there's quite a few activities going on in the Upper Valley this coming week, and we encourage you to participate in these activities. And as I mentioned, we have guests today, and my guest today is Ray Burton, who is the County Commissioner for Grafton County here in the Upper Valley, and almost 2/3 of the state, and he also sits on the Governor's Council. So Ray, welcome to our program. Ray's been on before and always keeps us abreast of what's going on in Concord and in the county that affect our particular lives. So Ray, what do we got cooking in both areas?
Well, Paul, it's a pleasure to be here with you on CATV, this small community access group. Also, from time to time, runs the CDs that we send out on the meetings of the Executive Council. So I certainly encourage listeners and viewers to contact me anytime that they may have a need for information out of New Hampshire state government. Try the best way to get to me is through my home telephone, my home office at 747-3662, or ring up the State House 271-3632. There are answering machines on both of those lines, and messages are forwarded to me immediately. The Executive Council is alive and well. Governor Lynch calls a meeting about every 2 weeks. We deal with items and issues and projects that come up through the various departments in New Hampshire state government. And one item that always comes to us on an annual or biannual basis, of course, are the annual reports and biannual reports that come from the various departments. And our job is to accept them and place them on file. At the last meeting, we had the Secretary of State's annual report, which is known as, legally, the Department of State. And it is a very active department. They run all the elections. And under the Constitution, the Secretary of State is the keeper of the Great Seal and attests to the governor's signature and affixes the seal to all official documents. So that's just one of dozens of duties, of course, under New Hampshire constitutional and statutory law that the Secretary of State, Bill Gardner, and his staff have as their responsibility. If anyone would like a copy of this report, please give my office a ring, 747-3662, and we'll get it out in the afternoon mail. Another annual report that we accepted and placed on file for public viewing is the New Hampshire Insurance Department's annual report. And that report was accepted and placed on file. This is, again, is a very active department, issuing licenses to any type of insurance that is sold in the state of New Hampshire. A private insurance company comes to New Hampshire with a product to sell, and they must appear before and get licensed by the New Hampshire Insurance Department. Another very active institution, if you will, in the New Hampshire state government structure, of course, is the New Hampshire Veterans Home. And that's located in Tilton, New Hampshire. They recently issued their annual report. And Paula, one thing that I caught right away is the statement and mission of this New Hampshire Veterans Home, where veterans go to live. And the quote that I like about it is, "Residents don't live in our facility, we work in their home." And that's a statement by the New Hampshire state employees that will work there. They work in their home and the residents live there. I recently visited the Veterans Home, and always, of course, people come in the front door to reside there, and there's a veterans in-house council. And the in-house council of veterans, made up of veterans, said, look, we come in the front door, we're going out the front door. We shouldn't be shuffled out the back door when some of us pass on. And so now they have a little ceremony, and I witnessed it one day, where indeed a veteran who had passed on leaves through the front door with proper regalia, proper flag, of course, and everybody stood in respect and salute as, and I thought that was a good statement, that the Veterans Council, they decided on their own that we come in the front door, we're going out the front door. And I have always been a very strong supporter and active person in supporting the New Hampshire Veterans Home, as I have also another institution in my council district, the Glencliff Home, which is located in Glencliff, New Hampshire, up on the side of Mount Moosilauke. And that, of course, is operated under the New Hampshire Health and Human Services Department. The Waste Management Council issued their annual report at the last Governor and Council meeting. And that, of course, is a very active council within the Department of Environmental Services, headed by, of course, Commissioner Tom Burek, who gets his job by being nominated and confirmed by at least 3 of us on the New Hampshire Executive Council. The Executive Council very much is like a board of directors that runs the state government according to state law and according to, of course, whatever is available in the state budget that's passed on a biannual basis by the New Hampshire General Court. And we employ about 11,000 people as classified state employees, but the Governing Council also received nominations and confirm or not confirm 350 commissioners and directors. These are full-time people like the Commandant of the Veterans Home, like the Commissioner of Education, the Commissioner of Safety, the Commissioners, all through New Hampshire Executive Branch of Government, get their job by being nominated by a governor and confirmed by at least 3 of us on the New Hampshire Executive Council. They, in effect, are the council's staff, if you will. Obviously, if I have a concern about the Lebanon Airport, I don't run to the governor, I get in contact with the Commissioner of Transportation. We just recently seated Chris Clement. He is the new Department of Transportation Commissioner, and he's responsible for air, rail, highway, and public transportation throughout the state of New Hampshire. So that's, again, is a very active department, and the Executive Council, working with the Commissioner of Transportation, puts together the 10-year transportation plan, which we spent last year working with regional planning commissions, Christine Walker and Nate Miller over here at Upper Valley Lake Sunapee Regional Planning Commission, plus all the other commissions around the state. And we, by law, last December, had to submit our recommendations for air, rail, highway, and public transportation to the governor. The governor, by law, has to submit his recommendations to the New Hampshire General Court by January 15th. And I will say, credit to Governor Lynch, he changed very, very little in our recommendations that we had submitted to his office. So the transportation plan is now in play, in the New Hampshire House and Senate. It went to the Public Works Committee, and if anyone has an interest, up or down, or something you like, something you didn't like, contact your local state senator or your local state representative, because that plan is now with them according to New Hampshire law.
Is that what they call the GASIC report?
Yes, the Governor's
Okay.
Advisory Commission on Intermodal
Okay.
Transportation, known as GASIT. Under New Hampshire law, this committee was set up during the Sununu administration, and it's in law that we go through a 2-year planning cycle, working with the regional planning commissions, town halls, city hall folks, bringing forth their ideas in the 4 modes of transportation. So I think on balance, having been there now 34 years, representing 98 towns and 4 cities, all through Grafton County, Sullivan County, and further north, that it works very well. People get a chance to put their project in, put forth their ideas. Hopefully we find enough money to at least address some of those concerns as they come along. The Executive Council has also been taking a big interest in what we call the 5 big banks, 5 federally chartered, federally regulated banks in some of the mortgage problems that people have been having. And if anybody has a concern with one of the 5 big banks, Bank of America, Citibank, JMP Chase, GMAC, Ally, or Wells Fargo, please give me a call. I have some 800 numbers, and the Attorney General's office has one person specifically assigned to deal with people who are having difficulties with their mortgages, and I'm dealing with a case right up here in Orford, New Hampshire, that was with the Bank of America. I immediately got in touch with the Bank of America. Indeed, they are sending a van to Burlington, Vermont, 3 places in New Hampshire, notifying all their customers so that somebody will be there to sit down with them in a confidential setting to talk about their mortgage that may or may not be current, and how they can perhaps rewrite it and keep people in their homes and not be throwing people out on the street. A very important part of the work of the Governor and Council is finding people to serve on boards and commissions. Paul Boucher over the years has been an example of an individual that has been willing to serve on all sorts of boards and commissions, everything from highways on through to tourism, and some of the economic committees, looking at some of the rules and regulations that continue to be difficult areas for businesses to comply with. Another activity that's very much in play in New Hampshire state government right now, at the council level, we 5 councilors on March 7th will, I expect, be asked to vote on 3 nominees to the Public Utilities Commission for the state of New Hampshire. 3 people. Set rates that have to do with utility companies. 159 different utilities in New Hampshire have their rates, everything from water, sewer, hydro plants, telephone, electricity. 3 people with a staff of 72 people in the Public Utilities Commission set rates on 159 businesses that collect annually $2.4 billion in rates that are set by motion of 3 people, the most powerful regulatory board. Governor Lynch has nominated Amy Ignatius. She's been there for 1 term, and he's nominated her to be the chair. Then there are 2 new people to fill 2 vacancies. One of the vacancies is Cliff Below from the city of Lebanon, who was not going to be reappointed, so that opened a slot there. Governor Lynch interviewed quite a few people and nominated Bob Scott of Bow, New Hampshire, who's currently the Air Resources Director in Environmental Services, and then Michael Harrington from Stratford, New Hampshire, to fill the 3rd slot, if you will. So I would enjoy hearing from anybody on their thoughts on the Public Utilities Commission, and specifically these 3 nominees. Don't be bashful. Please, give me your opinion, your concern, at 747-3662. Very interesting vote will be taken on March 7th. I expect Governor Lynch will be putting those 3 nominees to a vote. So those are some of the items that are coming along in Council District Number 1. Also on behalf of our Grafton County Board of Commissioners Chairman, Michael Cryans, and our Vice Chair, Oma Ahern, I'd like to extend an invitation to everyone to the grand opening of the new Grafton County Department of Corrections. You might know it as the county jail, but under our rules and regulations and bonding authority, it is officially named the Grafton County Department of Corrections. It's going to be Sunday, May 6th at 1 o'clock, open house all afternoon. You want to see what the new Department of Corrections is, it's Grafton County, please come to North Havel, New Hampshire, Route 10, the county complex. There'll be plenty of signs. We'll have some refreshments for everybody. Commissioner Cryans will be presiding over the official dedication and this new facility. We were authorized by our delegation to go into the bond market and borrow up to $38 million to build this new Department of Corrections. It's coming in due to construction, low bids, still good quality, around $33 million. So we are very proud that we have saved, really, about $5 million in this brand new facility. It's a Department of Corrections, hopefully correcting and turning around some lives and keeping people on the straight and narrow and legal path, because we don't want them back. And that's a quote that I hear quite often from not only our Commission Chair, Mike Cryans, but also the Superintendent of Corrections, Glenn Libby. We, the Board of Commissioners, decided that rather than hire a clerk of works, we were going to ask 3 very key people and positions in Grafton County government. Our Executive Director, Julie Clough, her expertise is in money, finances, and that area specifically, and the Superintendent of Maintenance, Jim Oakes, who spent a career in the Navy in dealing with all sorts of mechanical apparatus. He's now our Maintenance Superintendent, and our Department of Corrections Superintendent, Glenn Libby. He got his start in Belknap County, in the Belknap County Department of Corrections, was Vice Corrections Superintendent in Sullivan County. When our position opened about 7 years ago, Glenn came out on the top there and has done an outstanding job in dealing with and trying to turn lives around. The inmate population is running 80, 90 people now. We have, last Tuesday, we had 33 people out on electronic monitoring, drug court, mental health court, electronic monitoring, and all of those outside the jail points of correction that are all part of correcting lives that, of course, those folks come to us sentenced by the court system. So those are a few items, Paul, that I thought folks at CATV and points of view, points of interest here in the Upper Valley might be interested in. So please come by. Sunday, May 6th at 1 o'clock, grand opening, tours and refreshments all afternoon.
Now I seem to remember some years back when they opened the Berlin jail facility, that you spent the night there voluntarily, though. You know, you weren't
Yes.
the night before the opening, is that how that went? But I remember reading or seeing that you spent the night in a cell and locked up.
Yes, voluntarily, 10, 11 years ago now.
Is it that?
The state prison, that's the newest state prison facility in New Hampshire, had this overnight that folks could go there. And as I believe, I think we paid $50 or so, and that went into a special fund to assist inmates and their programs later on. But that was an interesting evening, to say the least.
Wonderful. One thing that's unique about the Governor's Council is, and which I think is different from any other state, you approve any expenditures over, is it $5,000?
$10,000.
$10,000, which is, you really keep the people's feet to the fire when
Yes.
when there's 5 people that decide.
Yes, we do, and there is discussion that takes place from time to time. We participate in a wide variety of programs all across New England, because it's the feeling of our department commissioners that we're one of 27 cold climate states. We're way up here in the northeast part of the United States, and we believe we should be active at the national scene through our congressional delegation and other groups that our commissioners and agencies belong to, receiving information from time to time, what might be available, not necessarily all on the public side of the federal government dollar, but also on the private side and foundation side. There are many foundations that are very active in assisting projects. For instance, the Fish and Game Department comes from time to time with what's known as the Cottontail Rabbit. And that is a federally funded project that is supposed to enhance and help the cottontail rabbits all over the state of New Hampshire. You might say, well, what does that have to do with state government? There is a wide interest and a deep interest in animal life in the forests of these United States and indeed up here in the cold climate states.
Well, the chair of the Fish and Game Department is our own Sharon Giraldi from here in Lebanon. She chairs that particular department.
Sharon Giraldi, I tip my hat to Sharon and her years that she has given to the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department as one of the commissioners. She represents Grafton County, there's a commissioner for each county, plus the seacoast.
Well, Raymond, we thank you very much for being with us.
Always.
Really enlightening, and Ray is always available. We work together on different projects, and he's always there and available, or he knows the phone number of the person to call.
Absolutely, and I welcome your inquiry, I welcome your constructive criticism as one of your public servants here. Call me up anytime, 747-3662.
Thank you again, Ray. And that concludes another Points of Interest program. We'll be back next week with another interesting guest. Until then.